Hello, it's his resident students and teachers. Thank you. You may be seated. In our previous lesson, we were looking at resistance, lesson number 1. And in the lesson, you carried out activities. But in the summary, we looked at words like conductors, insulators, and how these words relate to each other. Who can tell me what is a conductor? Conductor? Ule Messi?
A substance that allows electricity to pass through.
You agree? Substance that allow electricity to pass through. What is an insulator? It's an insulator. Carol?
Insulators are substances that do not allow electricity to pass through.
All right. Jennifer, give me an example of a conductor.
Copper wire.
You agree? Thank you. Tanabik, can you give us an example of an insulator?
Plastic.
You agree? Yes. Good. How about resistant? Can someone tell us what you understand about the word resistant? All right. Ayano, tell the class what you think resistant is.
Resistance is the property of a substance to work against the flow of the electricity through it.
All right. Property of a substance which work against the flow of electric current. All right. Now, what can we say about a good conductor in terms of talking about resistance? A good conductor. Okay, we'll have Jennifer.
A good conductor has low resistance and allows electricity to pass through.
Good. Raymond, what can you say about a poor conductor in relation to resistance?
It has high resistance and allow electricity to pass through. Less electricity to pass through.
It has high resistance and allow less electric current to pass through. All right. In this lesson, we will continue on looking at resistance, lesson number 2. This is some things that we will do in this lesson. We will observe and demonstrate how short circuits occur. We will define what fuse is, identify the roles of fuses in our homes, and the devices or machines that have been used. Can I have the runners to come and pick up your materials? You will be working in your groups, so there are 2 groups being placed together. You will get 2 items. 2 trays, I mean. Class, listen your instructions. You will set up simple electric circuit. Number 1, connect uncoated wire from bulb to positive terminal, then another from bulb to negative. All right? You will do that. And then you connect to switch and put on the switch. So that's what you're going to do. So set up a simple electric circuit. You may start now. let's see how many of you have completed your circuit. It's working. A complete circuit. All right? Do not stick the wires or the tapes. Do not tape the wires onto the board. Just leave. The other 7 problems. Circuit. I get them one spare. Come. Excuse. Try. All right, there's one thing that you will have to change. Read these instructions. There's a mistake in most circuits I've seen. Connect uncoated wire from bulb to positive terminal. Then another from bulb to negative, uncoated. So the 2 uncoated ones should come from the battery. You have a look at this. This circuit is okay. But the instruction is telling you these 2 wires are uncoated. So one is from the positive terminal, another from the negative. We have a coated one here. But this, you have got to remove this and then put it here. Understood? So what you do is you remove this and you put it here to remove this, put it on this side. Little scan instead. No, that's okay. Okay. It's just the connection to the what? Okay. So one comes here. You remove this one, put it on the side from here. Get that one, put it on the side. You make sure that from the batteries, the 2 uncoated wires will go. One from the positive, one from the negative terminal. What you do is, you only change this. Okay. So, that's okay. That's okay. No. It's just this. The instruction says the two uncoated wires,
Yeah.
one from the positive, one from the negative. This one will be connected. Okay, yours, you get this out, put it here, get this one, put it there. We need the two uncoated wires to run from the dry cell, one from the positive, one from the. Okay, that's okay. That's okay. Try, me look.
Same loosely. Abo, me try mo. Kaba mi. No, me try mo mi meeting ko.
Come on, Tasi.
How you sell me? Nah, true, me try mo.
Come try. All right, for those who have finished, I'd like you to close the switch and let your lamp go on. Now, leave it like that. Your switch must be closed and the lamp is on. Now, without taking off the wires from the dry cell or removing the bulb or opening the switch, I will give you another piece of wire and you will try to put the lamp off without removing the bulb or removing the wires from the dry cell or opening the switch. Just try to include this wire and see if you can put it off. Why? Talk about it. Now, if you put the lamp off by using the bare wire that I gave you, the uncoated wire, then you discuss why it has to go off. What is the reason for the lamp going off? Now the questions that you will have to answer: what did you find out? Why did the light go out? Why do houses or house get burned down by electricity? And how does this occur? All right, if you can look up here, you have set up a electric circuit, and with a complete circuit, you've seen that the lamp was glowing. Now, I gave you a bare wire, and I asked you to try to put the lamp off by using that wire. And some of you came up with some very good ways of how to put the bare wire so that the lamp goes off. Now, what you have just created by allowing the lamp to go off is called short circuit. You have short circuit the electric or the circuit there. What happened is short circuit is you have created a short path for the electricity to flow through. Now, when it flows through that, you have seen it created large amount of current to flow through. Now, if you can look at this, one of these, put this on. Put this one on. The electric current which is flowing out from here, when I put the bare wire on, the electric current does not completely flow around the circuit, but it follows the short path. It takes this path. Now, when this happens, a lot of current flows through here. Now, if you have touched it, you would feel the heat. Now, that is a short circuit being created. When that happens, now it becomes dangerous. Short circuits are very dangerous. When a short circuit is being created, what happens? Because a lot of current, large amount of electric current flows through this path, it will eventually bend the insulators that's on the wire. And what's going to happen? Fire, right? So it is the danger part of it. So what you have done is you have just simply looked at how short circuit occurs. Now, if we look at this, we have our source of electric power or the current coming from this battery here. This is 12-volt battery. We have the connecting wires here, and we have the globe. Now, in this circuit, you will see short circuit is created here, where the bare wires touch each other. When they touch each other, sometimes it's this rubbing insulation wrapped of wires. Right? Every wiring is been coated. Right? So when the coated part, which is the insulator, is been rubbed off, it can cause death. In the houses, sometimes short circuits can be caused by rats. Maybe rats may eat this. That causes the wires to meet. So when they touch, it causes short circuits. Like I have explained, when there is short circuit being created, a large amount of current flows through here, and then a lot of heat is being created, which will lead to fire, causing a lot of damage and even deaths too. So that is a danger of electricity. But there are some ways that can make things more safer. In this case, there has been fuse being created. Fuse. This is a fuse. Now, I'll just give you 1 minute to talk with your friends what you understand about fuse. I believe you have heard of the word fuse. Tell your friends what you understand about the word fuse. All right. Anyone? Anyone tell us what you understand about fuse? Have you seen a fuse? All right. Now, you may have some ideas of what is a fuse, but maybe finding out to explain or express what fuse is. Now, I'd like you to look up here. Fuses come in many different forms, all right, for different electrical appliances or the machines that have been used. In this case, this fuse has been placed in here. Now, fuse is a safety device that stops electric current flowing through, or large electric current flowing. So it's a safety device. The fuse is made up of metals that have a high resistance, so that large amount that is flowing, it tries to stop it. But also, it has a low melting point. So when a large amount flows through, it tries to stop it, and at the same time, when it's too much, it melts. The wire melts, and it cuts off the circuit. So when the circuit is cut off, when there is a gap, what happens? No electric current flows through. So it is a safety device. It will not create fire. Now, that is used especially when there is electric short circuit. I mean, when there is short circuit or other electrical faults. So most electrical faults are being caused by short circuit, and most fires, electrical fires, are caused by short circuits. So the only way for us to protect ourselves from short circuits is by having a fuse. What did I say? A fuse is a safety device that stops large amount of electric current to flow through. All right. It is made up of a metal that has high resistance and low melting point. So that's the fuse. And fuse is very important because it prevents fire. Fire can cause a lot of damage and even loss of life. Now, these are some of the questions that you will answer. I just explained about fuse. So you will answer these questions. What is a fuse? Explain the purpose of a fuse and how does it work in our homes or in an appliance. If you happen to go back home, those of you who have electricity in your houses, try to identify. Do not touch anything, any electrical thing, but try to identify if there is a fuse and answer how it works in that particular appliance that you have. Receiving students, if you can get these questions down quickly. Our summary for the lesson. Short circuits are caused by bare wires touching any conductor. The wire become very hot and often cause fire. Next summary point. Fuses are used for safety. The fuse wire is made of low melting point which the current flows through. Different fuses carry different currents. If you have a fuse and when they say it is blown, the fuse blew up, that means there is something wrong in the circuit. So that appliance has to be checked before you replace it with a new fuse. Our next summary point. When the current increases, the fuse wire heats up. If the wire becomes too hot, it will melt and flow of electricity is stopped. So this is how a fuse works. With that, our key phrase for this lesson is short circuit and fuse. Our next lesson topic is on forces. So we will look at force, lesson number 1. The materials for us to bring is waste paper, straw or bamboo, ping pong ball, or there are others that you can bring, polyester foam, rubber band, marbles, pictures of forces at work, and magnets. So those are some of the materials. If you have them, bring them along. With that, thank you, ATs and resident students and class for your participation.